right, we're gonna do a kettlebell RDL. Pretty simple hip hinge movement that everybody should be able to do. It's gonna be good for glute and hamstring strength and activation, as well as just having good body awareness of where your torso is, what your hips are doing, keeping the abs tight. So Brian's gonna start with the kettlebell, just where he finishes a deadlift at. Right here, he's gonna sit his hips back, slightly unlocking his knees, go down into the RDL, just hinging his hips. He's bending his knees a little bit too much, so go ahead and straighten the knees a little bit more. So the knees are just barely unlocked right there. He's gonna hit that bottom position where he can still keep a flat back. His chin's tucked down. He's gonna squeeze the glutes, gonna feel those working as he stands up. He's gonna finish nice and tall, feeling all that stuff on his backside working. Go ahead and give me one more, Brian. Good, he's got good alignment here, back's not rounding, head's in line, and he's gonna stand back up. All right, we're gonna talk about a single leg variation of the kettlebell RDL. We're gonna have Brian do this unweighted. We can also use a kettlebell and load it either side to make it a little bit more challenging for the hips and the core. We can either load it with the same leg that's down, or we can have a kettlebell in the opposite hand. It's just gonna be a little bit more challenging either way. So what we're looking for are essentially the same things that we look for in the kettlebell RDL. So a good, nice flat back, his head is in line with the rest of his spine. Let's go ahead and do one, Brian. And ideally we keep the hips squared up forward. So right here, Brian needs to have his chest up a little bit more, right there. So he's got a nice flat back here, his head's in line. The only problem is, well, two things. His knee's a little bit too bent. Go ahead and straighten your knee a little more. And his hips are rotated to the side a bit, which is a big problem we see in a lot of people that don't have very stable hips and very good core and hip control. But that's one thing that these exercises work on. So I'd cue him to focus on keeping his hips squared up forward. Go ahead and do another one, Brian, making sure that chest stays up. Okay, so that's a little bit better. And then we're, just like the kettlebell RDL, making sure when he comes back up, he's feeling the glutes and hamstrings pulling him back up rather than his lower back.